You will see a lot of signs in 2022 of the coming of the Mahdi. If you call it that way, that's fine. If you call it the end of time sign, if you call it Dajjal sign, whatever way you call it, Islamic Eschatology, if you study them, you will understand that these signs in 2022, I will talk about one sign, one of the signs. You will see that this sign is right in front of our eyes, and this is not a claim made by the Islamic scholars or by me or by somebody else, you know, a Muslim. No, these are claims, especially this one is being made by non-Muslim, and believe it or not, dear brothers and sisters, they are saying exactly, they're echoing exactly what the prophecy has spoken about, which is that I'll mention to you in a second. But let's take a look at this video first, and then inshallah I'll be making a few more comments. But before I play the video, I want you to understand this. If you're someone who is interested in end of time topics, this channel is for you. Consider subscribing, because we talk only about Islamic eschatology. We do not talk about anything else. We talk only about the Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj, the Mahdi, end of time related stuff. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing, join this community, because we are seeing, dear brothers and sisters, a lot of the signs, a lot of the alamat taking place about the end of time. The prophecies are being fulfilled. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Let's play this video, and then inshallah we'll make a few more comments.
Hello guys, and welcome to our channel. We all are aware of the fact that in the past few years, Saudi Arabia's agriculture development is astonishing. Large areas of the desert have been turned into agricultural fields. This transformation can definitely be called a major accomplishment for a country, especially when the country receives an average of about 4 inches of rain a year.
Wow.
In today's video, we're going to tell you how and why Saudi Arabia is turning its deserts into huge farmlands.
Okay, so what is that sign I want to talk to you about today, okay, in 2022? The sign is pretty obvious after you have watched a few seconds of this video. The sign is obvious, which is that what we will see in the coming days, extreme weather changes. Okay, extreme weather changes. Places where they never saw rain will get plenty of them. Places where they never saw snow coming, it will be, I mean, the snow will be like so much. And I have actually made several videos about snow in the Middle Eastern countries, and this snow, they are not your regular seasonal snow. Okay, this most of the time these snows are so much that it will cover mountains. I'm not talking about covering a small portion of area in Taif in Saudi Arabia. No, I'm talking about covering a huge mountain, the huge area. And dear my sister, this is ushering of the prophecy of the coming of the end of time. As I said, you can call it the coming of the Mahdi, the Dajjal, Yajuj, Majuj. So we need to talk about this sign. So what is that sign I want to talk about? After playing this video for a few seconds, you probably got some idea, and that is that we are going to see a huge transformation in terms of the landscape of Saudi Arabia and also the Middle Eastern countries that we have never ever seen before. And this is what was prophesied by Rasulullah when he said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تعود العرب مروجا وانهارا. He said the land of Arab will become greenery, and it will have a lot of lushness, it will have a lot of water, rain and whatnot. Dear brothers and sisters, this is exactly what this person who is not a Muslim, this person, I believe the narrator of this video is not a Muslim, but he is himself acknowledging that indeed we are seeing a huge transformation. Now, this is not the only person who is taking notice of these changes in Saudi Arabia and the rain and the water, whatnot. There are other YouTube creators. I believe I made a video about Eva Zhu. If you do not know her, she's a travel blogger. She also said when she went to Saudi Arabia, like, is this Saudi Arabia? Because it was so green. It is supposed to be desert. It is supposed to be barren. There should not be anybody, no greenery, nothing. But she said when I landed in that particular place, I drove there, she said I was completely shocked. So the hadith, the prophecy is being fulfilled. But let's take a look at this video a little bit more, and then inshallah we'll make for a few more comments, which are also very, very important.
So stick with us and let's dive into today's video. Saudi Arabia is called as a desert kingdom.
Okay.
The country's wealth soared when oil was discovered. It utilizes billions of dollars of oil earnings to fuel many aspects of its economy and the lives of its citizens. One of these elements is the kingdom's food supply, which imports more than 80% of its required food using oil revenue. Approximately just 1.5% of Saudi Arabia's land area is arable. And what agriculture the nation does have consumes 80% of the country's limited water supply.
Wow.
While the kingdom is now food secure, agriculture in Saudi Arabia has been a key focus for those looking to increase the country's sustainability and mitigate the danger of global food supply network failures.
Okay, one thing I also want to make sure that you understand, when we talk about the lands turning into green, we are not saying this is happening in a miraculous way. No, this is not what I claimed, and this is not what you should understand. When we see this transformation in Saudi Arabia, the landscape becoming green, we are talking about these are being driven by necessity. Okay, the greenery is being driven by necessity in many cases. Not all, but many cases. It means Saudi Arabia now, they are trying to produce their own crops because they cannot rely on oil money to import products and produces on their own. Now they're investing a huge chunk of their budget in order to sometimes use artificial, cloud seedling, what they call it, in order to, plant a lot of seeds, in order to grow more trees, and in order to grow more palm dates and whatnot. So Saudi Arabia, out of necessity, they're doing this without realizing they're following the hadith, because Saudi Arabia, obviously, when we see what they're doing, they do not think of their action in light of the end of time. None of their actions are being thought in light of end of time. They are doing it because they know they need to do it, and that's all they care about.
The 70s marked the beginning of serious agricultural development in the kingdom. And by the 1990s, Saudi Arabia was one of the largest wheat exporters in the world.
Wow.
Not just wheat, it also exports vegetables, fruits, dairy, products,
wow,
and dates.
Subhanallah.
Now, just think of Saudi Arabia. What comes to your mind? A scorching sun, inhospitable climate, and endless sand dunes? But
okay, one thing I also want to address in this video, which is also very, very important, and that is that I told you about the Malhama, the end of time Malhama, and end of time, not the Malhama when the Mahdi will be here. I'm not talking about that Malhama, I mean the war. I'm talking about the Muslim, non-Muslim, and the whole world coming together to fight with each other. Remember that? I said that will happen before the coming of the Mahdi. In other words, the technology that we have today, the world we know today, will not exist anymore after the WW3. And I said the reason for that to happen is not because of Ukraine, Russia, or China, Taiwan issue, or that this country doesn't like that country, or that US is so powerful, or China is becoming so powerful. Oh, no, none of them. Nobody in the conscious mind will go to war with each other. So what is the reason? The reason for that is because of survival. They want to be able to survive. People will starve. Food price will go up. Now, we are seeing already in the West, I do not know, I think it's all over the world, food price is going up. Now this is being created because of the COVID, obviously, but the time will come when there will be no reason, absolutely no reason for food prices to go up, and people will be starving, people will be baffled. How we can solve this problem? What is it happening? Why this is happening? Why we are not able to produce crops? Why we are not able to distribute it properly? Because the barakah is gone. End of time, barakah is gone. Allah will not put any barakah in our food. People will not be able to produce any more crops. People will be starving for their survival, and they will be, fighting for their survival. And at one point, this is when WW3 will happen. At one point, they will say, you know what? We need to invade other countries, especially the country where it is conducive to produce crops, to produce wheat or rice or whatever it is, or potato. As a result, countries will go to fight with each other, and that's the time when WW3 will take place. It is not because of Ukraine, Russia, nothing, none of those. This video, as you can see right now, they are saying that Saudi Arabia is producing crops because Saudi Arabia knows we cannot rely on imports anymore, because the world food supply is being affected, and many part of the world people are not finding any food on their shelves in the supermarkets.
But how does such a country become such a big exporter of wheat? If we dig into the details, there is something going on in the country. Now let's find out. The government launched an extensive program to promote modern farming technology.
Wow.
The reason being the establishment of irrigation networks, storage, and expert facilities. Also to encourage agriculture research and training institutions.
Okay, so I will not play the rest of the video, but you get the point, you get the idea. Look at this. Look at this. You see it, right? How green Saudi Arabia has become a sign of the end of time. The Mahdi that I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video, that I will talk to you about this sign, and this is a sign, brothers and sisters, that we are going to see a lot of changes in 2022 before the coming of end of time. Mahdi, Ad-Dajjal, Yajuj and Majuj. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.